Hey guys, I am the Seaman235, and I know. It's been a while. I said I would make a video sometime later that week, and I didn't do it. I actually found out I lost a few subscribers recently too, because I haven't been uploading anything, and I honestly don't blame them. I really should be more active than I actually am, but I'm gonna try and get on a monthly schedule. And this month's content will probably be E3 stuff. So yeah. But I figured I would do this now to sort of announce my return from semi-retirement. Well, it wasn't really retirement. In the update video previously, I said I was dealing with a lot of personal baggage, some of which has been taken care of, some of which has not. I won't really go into specifics because honestly, you really don't care. And honestly, it's probably better if you don't know anyway, so. But I do want to share a few opinions on the Pokemon Direct since it just got finished. I have very mixed feelings on the Direct. I really think it should have been like 5 minutes longer and it should have showed a few more Pokemon. Like, I think it would have really helped if it showed the evolutions of the starters, because when it comes to the starters themselves, I mean, I like the fire type one, Scorbunny, or Scorch Bunny. Is it Scorbunny or Storch Bunny? I'm not really sure. Future me, could you like type in the name and tell me, please? Because I'm stupid. Thanks. Scorbunny, which I'll call him from now on. I hope I'm not wrong. Which is the fire type bunny, is the one I'm probably gonna choose. We also saw the legendaries. I'm not gonna show footage. I'll just show pictures, cause you know I'd rather not have this video be content ID'd. I do like the sword and shield legendary designs. I like how they're not flying Pokemon or dragon types. Seriously, am I the only one that's sick to death of dragon type and bird type legendaries? It's why I kind of like the Ultra Beasts, cause they weren't like flying machines of like god tier flying machines or like god tier dragon types. Like, I love Zekrom and Reshiram, and I even like Kyurem to a certain extent. I don't like his alternate forms, but I like Kyurem, like the base design. But I was sick to death of dragon types by the end of that generation. But yeah, it's why I like Gen 7's legendaries. I don't know what type they'll be. I'm going to assume they'll be steel types, I know that for sure. But I'm not sure what their subtype will be, if they'll even have any at all. I kind of thought that they would actually be one legendary, but apparently they're two. I'm getting both versions, but the one I'm probably going to use for my main file is Sword. And I'll probably pick the female avatar again, since for some stupid reason the female avatar gets more options than the male one. But speaking of designs, I think all the Pokemon look okay. I'm not a huge fan of the water type starter, so I'm probably, you know, I'll probably get all the starters for the sake of collectors' sake, you know, just for collector's sake, I'll probably get them all, but, you know, it's still, like, I'm not really the hugest fan of them. We didn't really see that many new Pokemon, actually. Like, we saw the legendaries, and we saw, like, a few of the common mons. I did really like the Black Bird. Future me, could you, like, post the name? Thanks. I really liked him. He was really cool. And as for the biting turtle-looking Pokemon, he was pretty cool. I really should remember the names, but I just saw the Direct. He looked pretty cool. I will say, I'm kind of mixed on the rest of the Direct, though. Alright, so let's get into the things I don't like before I get into the things I like. First off, I have mixed feelings about the new, there's no other way to word this, giant Pokemon concept. I mean, it looks pretty cool. I like the idea that they're like, it's like Battle of the, you know, Titans, essentially, but with Pokemon. That's actually a pretty neat idea, but it also seems kind of gimmicky. One of the things I've kind of had mixed feelings on with Pokemon lately is how with every generation, there was an interview I read with someone from the Pokemon company, I believe it was Masuda, but it could have been someone else. If I can find the article, I'll link it below, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to find it. They said they wanted to have a gimmick in, like, every Pokemon generation. So, like, Gen 6 would be Mega Evolutions, which, by the way, I believe we actually saw the Gyarados, you know, the giant Gyarados Mega Evolve. So, Mega Evolution is still a thing. Pretty sure it is, anyway. And then, you know, with Gen 7, when they said they removed it, that's when they talked about Alolan forms, which I hope they bring back, by the way. Not necessarily, like, calling them Alolan forms, just, like, bring them back and call them something else, like, I don't know, UK forms, there. It's just something forms, that you could find a name for them. Just the concept of Alolan forms, I think, is awesome. Just make sure it's with more than just Generation 1 Pokemon, because I'm getting sick of the Gen 1, you know, nostalgia whoring. But with the, you know, they want to find a new gimmick when really, I don't really think we need one. Am I the only one that kind of thinks we didn't really need a new gimmick? I kind of think it would have been better if they kind of just focused on refining the mechanics, speeding up the battle system, and introducing a few concepts, some of which are actually put into this trailer and some of which aren't. But generally, I kind of think they should have you know, they kind of should have refined elements of the games, you know, that fans have been complaining about, instead of adding another gimmick. Because honestly, I kind of felt that Z moves were fine. You know, and I understand, like, Z moves are sort of like the Alolan gimmick, but at the same time, I kind of feel like they could have done something, like, they could have just kept the same concepts from Sun and Moon, in the sense that they could have kept Alolan forms, they could have kept Z moves, just call them something else. And Z moves, I believe, are still around. You see them in the trailer, I'm pretty sure you do. I know I saw them in the first trailer, so they're back. So, you know, they're all confirmed. I do appreciate how they did confirm that. At least I believe they did. You know, if my eyes, you know, didn't deceive me. Just because, you know, people would have complained, oh, where's the Mega Evolutions? Even though I'm not really a huge fan of Mega Evolution. But, you know, it's nice that they confirmed it for those who like it. But yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of the idea of the giant Pokemon. It seems very gimmicky. I don't know. It doesn't seem, like, broken or anything. It just seems kind of needless. But that's just me. Maybe I just need to play it to find out. And I also am kind of... now, this is something I'm on and off with as well. I'm not sure. Are we actually going to have Pokemon just out in the wild, like, randomly? Because I'm not sure if they're actually doing that or not. I want to say they are, because I saw a lot of Pokemon even in actual gameplay in the wild. I'm not sure, though, if that's just, like, for effect, if they're just random Pokemon that are just, like, NPCs, or if they're actually battleable. I think what would have confirmed it is if a trainer actually went up to a random Rhydon that was outside of the grassy area, and then you just started a wild encounter. But what I'm getting from it is that we're getting both the grass and also wild encounters. That's not exactly what I'm looking for, but, I mean, that could work. But I don't know if that's the case, which is why I'm on and off with it, since I'm not really sure if my eyes were just tricking me, or if that's what they're doing. If that's what they're doing, good. I'm happy it's a step in that direction. I would prefer no random encounters, but I'll take what I can get. But, you know, we don't know for sure. As for the things I like, the game has seen a bit of a graphics update. It seems a lot more cel-shaded than it did before. I gotta say, I dig it. I really like the art style. I think it received a bit of a change. It's really growing on me. It's still a bit simplistic in how 3DS it looks, or just HD 3DS it looks, but, you know, it won't bother me too much, but it does look better than it did previously. So I am excited to see what they do with it. I am happy they're doing a Sword and Shield combo pack. That's really nice. However, probably the best thing, I'm pretty sure everyone who sees this will probably think it's the best decision, actual 3D camera control in the wild areas only. Well, at least it's a step in the right direction. I mean, I would prefer just full 3D camera movement everywhere, but I am happy in the wild area, or wild areas. I'm not sure that I really hope it's not just one huge wild area, sort of like Hyrule Field, and then like multiple towns of interest, and then like the champion. I hope it's not that. That'd be a... I mean, I guess some people would say that's more Breath of the Wild, but I don't know. I'm not really a huge fan of that idea, but whatever. You know, it's not necessarily bad in concept. I just feel it would make the world a bit too simple. Just the region would be a bit too simplistic for me. But I love the idea that in this huge wild area that has multiple different seasons and multiple different, changes in its scenery depending on the day and the time of day, and how you have full 3D camera control. There can be rain, sandstorms, hail. You get the idea. That's a really interesting idea. I hope this isn't just a gimmick area. I hope it's like a major part of the game, because honestly, this is actually really awesome. I've wanted full camera control ever since X and Y, because X and Y was the first time they had a fully 3D camera, but it didn't really work very well. It was in the France area, where they had essentially a copy of the Eiffel Tower, but it was, not the Eiffel Tower. It was Clement's gym, essentially. But that city had terrible camera because it had no camera control. There was no way to change it. So essentially what you had to do was just kind of grim and bear it, and that was really annoying. Thankfully this time they have full 3D camera movements, which I really like. This will really add to the feeling of exploration. It'll make things easier to see. It's just, in general, this is a great move. I wish it were in the cities, but I'm just happy they're doing something with it at all. It seems like they're trying to take baby steps, but still playing it a bit safe just for the sake of, okay, if people don't like these changes, we can backpedal. I would like it more if they went all in, because I think it would just be a genuinely better idea. But that's what they want to do. They want to still keep things somewhat safe. Probably just because they're not sure how they would work in a Pokemon game, even though, honestly, seems like they would fit in just fine. It doesn't even change anything. Like, the battle system, I don't really think needs to be changed. Like, Z moves and, the basic, UI from Sun and Moon, like, all of that, it's all fine. The basic battle system that they have, well, it's not basic, it's anything from basic, but the battle system they have, and they have had since Gen 3 and onwards, and how they've been constantly updating it and improving it, honestly, it's fine. I honestly have no problem with the battle system. I mean, would I like the animations to be faster? Yes, I would. And from what I hear, Let's Go was a bit slow, so I'm hoping it won't be a sluggish animation fest. I mean, I'll probably get used to it. I did with Gen 4 with Platinum and Heart Gold Soul Silver, which I do really love. Well, I love Heart Gold Soul Silver. Platinum is okay. It's alright. I like it, but it's not my favorite go-to Pokemon game. But they have very slow animations, and I got used to it. But I hope it's not the case. I hope they're as fast as, like, at least Generation 6. Because Gen 7, they kind of went back to being a bit slow, which I didn't like. I understand that, 3D animations are a bit slower, so that's fine. But if they're like Gen 6, I honestly think that's fine. In general, I do wish they weren't playing it as safe as they seem to be doing, but, it seems like they are taking steps in the right direction for me, so we'll see how it goes. Oh, one more change I almost forgot about. One thing I do like about the giant Pokemon, I'm not sure about how they'll be used as a power-up, but I love the idea that 4 trainers get to actually fight each other. Not fight each other, I'm sorry. Fight together to fight a giant Pokemon. This is probably just gonna be a little testing ground gimmick, kind of like kind of like what they're doing with some of the camera control and stuff like that, but I love the idea of you going on a journey. Because you know how Ash in the anime, he usually has, you know, just tons of trainers that he goes on journeys with. Brock, Misty, May, Dawn, Iris, Ceylon, I believe his name is. They didn't really, you know, the grass-type gym leader in the first gym of Black and White. I'm a Gen 5 fan, and I don't really know his name. He was kind of generic. Clement, Serena, Bonnie, you get the idea. He went on journeys with all of them. And one of the things I always wanted was to have a partner, you know, a group together, not necessarily of NPCs, but, you know, I always like the idea of maybe a Pokemon MMO. And this might be a tiptoe step into that, of you actually going on journeys with friends online. Now sure, some would say, well, that makes the game too easy, too MMO-like, but be honest here. If the Pokemon world were real, would you really want to go on an adventure with you and your Pokemon and no one else? I doubt it. You would want to go on adventures with close friends, comrades, maybe a brother or a sister, maybe your cousin. I would love the idea of a co-op adventure via online play, sort of MMO style. And you essentially have to work together to take out the giant Pokemon and catch it. I'm not sure who would actually get the Pokemon. I'm hoping it's not a thing where you have to, like, it's like a multiplayer thing where you also are sort of versing each other. I'm not sure how one would split the Pokemon. I don't know how that would work. We'll have to see. But I think the idea is interesting. It probably won't be something too massive. I'm probably making more of a bigger deal out of it than it was intended to be. But this could actually be a great first step into a co-op adventure. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be co-op. It could be like Let's Go, only online, and without the stupid motion controls, and with actual controllers. So, yeah. I just think this could be a really great idea, and I'm hoping that if this does do somewhat well, that they expand upon it in future games, future generations. I love the idea of you actually teaming up with your friends. One thing I am worried about, and this won't be so much of a problem if you have a Discord or a Skype, though who the hell wants to use Skype? Skype blows. But, you know, Discord, and, you know, you can probably call them on your phone. I really hope there's voice chat. But there probably won't be, since, you know, kids are watching, even though you could just give them an option to turn the voice chat off so kids don't hear that shit. Like, there are parental controls, Nintendo. I'm just saying. So yeah, cool idea, hoping it's expanded upon. I am the Seaman235, signing out. See ya.